Hey, it's Tara here from Empowering Motherhood. How are you? It's very cold today, so totally rugged up, wearing lots of dark clothes. I want to talk to you about a couple of ancient traditional practices that women would adhere to as part of their daily, weekly, monthly rhythm. And this is a big part of what I've been talking about that is often missing for us and makes everything feel so hard. So we're really not made to be doing it all on our own all the time, and we're not made to be stuck in fight or flight and on the go 24/7. The busy being busy or the superwoman syndrome, or those roles that we play that we've been talking about over some of the videos about the chakras of, I'm the one that gets stuff done. If it's going to be, it's up to me. That you're the micromanaging everybody, and that makes you a good mum, and people will say to you, you're amazing, I don't know how you do it all. People say that to me and I say, oh yeah, well, I actually don't. The thing is that when we're stuck in adrenaline, we're stuck in fight or flight, it's a very non-creative space to start with. It's very exhausting and depleting, and it gives us no time to stop and check in on the big picture. So the women that have been working with me to learn about the moon cycles and to create a different rhythm in your life. So have a think about the rhythm that's in your life that you're working to at the moment. Do you feel like you're just charging along 24/7? Do you feel like there's a bit of a flow, or do you feel stagnant? Do you feel stuck? Have a think about what your rhythm feels like, and I'd love to see in the comments how you would describe that rhythm. Just a word, like how would you describe the rhythm that you're experiencing in your life at the moment? And we want to bring our life into a rhythm where we feel like we're really in flow. We feel like we're in step with ourselves and with everything that's going on around us. So not only do we want to be creating a rhythm that works for us, but as a mother, which is the real, and you've heard me say this before, taking that leadership role within the family of looking after that rhythm for everything, so it works for you and for everybody else. And what I'm seeing is a lot of women have themselves outside of the pack and trying to run the family and their life from outside of the pack, which means it becomes a lot more hard work. You need to bring yourself back inside the pack and run things from in there and guide, take your position there to guide the rhythm of the family. So I've done a free download, a guide to 3 ancient practices that help women thrive in motherhood. And I want to go through those now and give you a bit of an idea of what it's about. The rhythm. It's about stepping off the treadmill that you're on and into a rhythm that's going to ebb and flow the way you need it to, so that you feel inspired, so that you feel nourished at the same time as you're inspiring and nourishing the rest of the family and all the things in your life, your relationship, your children, your family, your work, your friends, all the different aspects of yourself, just your health and well-being, your own happiness. We want to nurture that as well. So it's about creating a new rhythm if you've got stuck in a rhythm that is not working for you. So the 3 key things here are that starting to work with the moon cycles is one of them. Starting to do things that nurture you, that still look after the family. And we had a really good discussion about this at the Mums and Bubs Yoga today about starting to feed your babies solids. And instead of giving them something, nutritious over here and feeding the baby, and then you're trying to eat by yourself. So I see a lot of mothers, the babies are getting good warm meals cooked for them at lunch, and the mothers are barely eating anything at all. And we've just done a big food swap to really help everybody kickstart themselves into a different rhythm. And most of the food that the women made and that we shared over the last couple of weeks, we've been doing this, is stuff that is going to nourish you and the baby, nourish you and your family. So it starts way back then when you have a little baby, that you're actually looking after yourself as well as everybody else, and there's a rhythm to that. So the 3 ancient practices are 3 things that traditionally women did that help keep them in that flow and help keep them in the rhythm. And I want you to download it and check it out and see just observe what changes you might be needing to make to help get yourself off that treadmill of being busy, of doing all the time, of charging forward, and, don't stop because you'll drop everything, you won't be able to get back up, because deep down that you're exhausted, and it's just this will to go, go, go that's keeping you going. But that will lead you to some sort of crisis if you're not already there. That will lead you to exhaustion or a health issue or just collapsing and falling apart. So the other thing I'd like to do is invite you to the Deep Winter Retreat. At the Deep Winter Retreat, we're going to implement these 3 practices. Hey, Jess, we're going to implement the 3 ancient practices and practice them. They're practices, which means it's a matter of observing and keeping on going and creating new habits in your life. And so we're going to be slowing down, unwinding, untangling. We're going to be looking at the moon cycle. So the winter retreat is situated on the dark moon so that you can retreat within and recreate yourself in that space. Yeah, and we need to stop and balance the doing with being. So we need to balance the charging ahead, getting stuff done, and believe me, I do that too, but we need to balance it with stepping back and looking at the big picture and letting things settle in ourselves. So we're not taking with us what we don't need. We're not continuing on the wrong path. We're not, if you're just charging along all the time, you don't get time to stop and think and clear your mind and get clarity. And in that space is where inspiration and ideas and your intuition is really going to rise up and support you. So we're also going to be doing weaving, because one of the things that a lot of women are missing is coming together as community to support each other, and doing craft, doing active meditations with your hands that are useful. Active meditations, working with your hands that are creating something of value for yourself or your family or your community. And really tapping into each other as a source of energy. So I've spoken about this a little bit before. At the moment, you're probably tapped into the wrong energy source. Yeah, it's like moving from non-renewable energy source to a renewable energy source. And at the Deep Winter Retreat, we're going to rest in that space for a couple of days. Now, if you cannot make it for the whole weekend, there are a few places to just come on the Friday night to the mini retreat. So there's limited places for that, and some of those places are already booked up. But if you are child-free and can be child-free, and this is resonating with you, I highly recommend you take one of these last places available for the 2 nights, the 3 days, from the 13th to the 15th of July, so that you can take some time out, let everything settle, gather yourself, recalibrate. It's a stock take. Do a stock take of yourself and your life, and then recreate that with a new rhythm that's going to support that. So we want to create habits that are going to, I'm talking about routines, rituals, rhythms in your life, your habits that are going to support what you want to be creating in your life and how you want to be feeling and what you want to be experiencing, and not just for you and for those around you that matter. Okay, any questions, please post them in the link. I've got the link there for you to download the 3 ancient practices that help women thrive in motherhood. I want you to check that out. And if you want me to, if you want to have a conversation to talk further about what the next step would be for you, whether the Deep Winter Retreat is the right place for you to start, or some of the other products or services that I offer, the programs, please either post in the comments, yes please, and I will message you, or just PM me and we'll make a time to talk. Because it's taking that first step. If you're already feeling a crisis is looming or it's on the horizon, or you know that if you keep going the way that you're going for the next 3 months or 6 months or 2 years, like where is that going to end where is that going to end? Where's that going to take you? What road are you on right now? So if you feel like you need to switch your projection so that you're on a different pathway, one that you're in charge of, that you're creating, that you're creating happiness and a fulfilling life for you and those around you, then this is where you start, okay? So please either message me through the comments or private message me, but download the 3 ancient practices. You'll just get an email with the guide, and think about how, just reflect on it. The first step is always observation. Just reflect on what rhythms you have in your life and what habits are supporting it, and what habits are actually feeding, what rhythms and habits are actually feeding your life the way it is now. We want to declutter the old so you can bring in the new, and I'm just so excited about doing that with this group on the retreat and through the programs. Hope you have an awesome day. Please post or private message any questions to me, and I'll see you soon.